finish my... So this is... What date is it today? 4th, almost the 5th of February 2019. And this is number 1 of Sean and Irene's unnamed podcast.
Oh wow, I didn't even realise you would have made that intro. Anyway,
that's the intro.
I love it. It already sounds more official.
Yes! So, what shall we talk about?
What don't we like or we like about podcasts?
What I like about some podcasts is you just sort of put it on and listen to what people say, and just like, you don't necessarily always have to tune in. Like, one problem with me, I guess, is like, I'm always one of those people that want things. So when I hear two people talking, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to join in. You know what I mean?
See, for me, it's different because I've never managed to listen to podcasts because everyone was like, listen to podcasts about, you know, people discussing a topic, politics, or you know, maybe episodes of documentaries, and I just couldn't tune in. I was like, how can people like this? And then I started to do audiobooks, and just having someone who tells me a story as like I'm doing things, it just works so well.
That's nice.
It works much better than me because it's just I'm always listening to it, and it sort of gives me this concentration rhythm.
Yeah.
While in music, because I'm so emotionally attached to it, sometimes when I'm working, it interferes with it. But audiobooks,
I love audiobooks, but the problem with them for me is I'll tune in and then I'll be like, oh fuck, I've missed a whole part of it because I've been doing something else, and I can't just sit down and listen to it unless I'm travelling. So I mean, I do like them. The ones that I've listened to are the Game of Thrones ones, but again, like, for reading the books, because I don't know.
No, but there's nothing better than reading books.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel I'll be like, oh, I don't have, because I'm working so much, I don't have time to read a book.
Yeah.
And
that's I hate that so much. Like, okay, so last night I had a dream. I was just telling Irene that I get a lot of stress dreams related to work, and in this dream I was just like, I basically I was like accepting a course that was like really intense, and I was like booking up all of my time, if that makes sense, throughout a whole year. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to have time to read anything like that I love, and I'm not going to have time to read art books. It was not related to... It was like, in my dreams, often I'm studying things that I did study that I've now forgotten, like IT, which is kind of... I should really know it. I've been taught it, but...
Most of my dreams don't connect with like studying moments, which I find very interesting because so many people I know.
Yeah.
But when I'm studying, I'm always like...
Are they British? Because I feel like there's a massive flaw with the educational system, and that could be part of...
A lot of my friends in Italy, they mainly dream about their last exam of like high school, which we call maturita.
Yeah.
It's like it's everyone's nightmare, because like you need to prepare like way too much that any human being is able to remember only once.
Yeah.
And like,
I do feel it's especially hard for dyslexic people who aren't always the best at remembering. Like, it's not the knowledge that's a problem. Remembering.
To be honest, like, it depends, because the thing is, like, you think you have so much to remember, but in reality the only way you have to learn all that things is just going through it, you know. If you know how everything is connected, then you know if you know how to interpret the data, then it's less about remembering, it's more about telling a story about it, you know. And so even if you don't know the date, even if you don't know the specific name,
you still learn.
You still learn.
But that's the problem with the educational system in Britain, in my opinion, is that you aren't really told
to do that.
To learn, you're told to remember, if anything. And then, you know, I often have dreams that are quite like, usually they're of me knowing that I can do the work but just not having enough time. So example of this is going in like studying for an exam. It's not usually the actual exam, it's studying for an exam, but I know it's in a couple of hours, or studying or like having homework, a shit ton of homework that I know, that I read through, like skim through, I'm like, yes, I can definitely do this, but it's in for like the morning that I'm doing it, you know what I mean? So it's like, again, I feel like part of it is about the pressure that people have on having these, and for me it was definitely the idea that I can do something but just not having the time. But I think for a lot of people also it's about people don't have the confidence in themselves to think that they can remember all the information, especially dyslexic people, or they genuinely don't, you know. So it's like, it's interesting how education or the educational system affects you when you're older, because real life when you become an adult isn't that, like, you have deadlines and stuff, but you've learned sort of, like, deadlines for me now are just like something that I need to upload, or like something that I need to do on that day, like, oh, I just need to upload this. But the actual work that I'll have for it is you very often it's done with enough time to reflect on it. Whereas I guess school, the homework is in for now. You don't give it in earlier. Homework's in for now. So you don't really have time to reflect on it, and then you get the lesson, another homework, and it's like, it is difficult for dyslexic people, I think. I definitely think it is, and especially now with, I've heard that there's more and more and more limitations for like disability in schools and dyslexia and stuff like that. It's like, I do wish there was, I mean, I need to fight for it, but like, I know why there's so much sort of, I don't know, like, so much problem with people mentally about education. Like, so many people just don't want to learn.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a rebellion against it.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes also we forgot how young it's the whole schooling system, because everyone assumes that it's right, you know, this is the way.
Yeah, but it's old.
But really, I mean, yeah, but to a big amount of people all in one scene, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, how long is it that everyone can read and write? It's like maybe 100 years. So this is just like the very beginning on how you can educate such like a big amount of people. People,
true.
what before it was just like teaching to one or two people, you know, like a small groups, or like people that were coming from the same background. Like all the groups were much more similar. But now that likely we were all getting this amazing thing. But of course, in a group, if you just, you know, take it randomly from a place, that it's just gonna be a small representation of everything, and we don't have a system that allows all these things to be there at the same time. You're just always satisfy one of them rather than you know, it's too slow, no, it's too fast, no, there's not enough drawing, no, there's not enough, like, you know, it's like every time is missing something,
and everything feels like incomplete in a sense. Yeah.
Well, we should look more for something that's more complete in every stage. But where we're just, it's just a very different sort of... So
I know the answer because you've spoken it to me very times, but for the sake of the podcast, what do you think your opinion on it, specifically the British education system, and your critique of it?
Yeah. Oh, my pop chart is just open.
Good contribution to the podcast there.
That's what I think about.
That's the flies being open, by the way. But yeah.
I'm not really amused by it. No, it's just like I feel the biggest problem of it is that the people are given the ability to choose what they want to study at such an early age. Cause not in the meaning that the politics, like the right and the power of the choice of a young person are definitely important, and they do respond to a feeling.
Yeah.
But I think they're too exclusive. So if you choose these 2, 3, 4 things, then you're not going to do anything else anyway.
Yeah.
While at that age, it's so important to just try so many different things to then understand which one you want to do. And I feel at that age, because of the amount of time you spend on it, it's very hard for you to have an experience, like to know that you're gonna dislike something you don't know. It's never possible, but like I would have never thought to study philosophy when I was a young age, and then although now it's not my main subject, I feel like I've learned so much from it, and it was important for me, in a side of my mind, but it was important. So I feel like by making these choices so early, you cut out everything that, even if it's not going to be your life, maybe you're going to be a doctor, maybe art is just one part of your personality, but if you don't have to do it, that part of yourself will never grow, and your critics thinking about it, because if at least you've been introduced to it, you're going to have always like a starting point. But
I think the way that you get introduced to certain subjects are so minuscule if you think about it. So I went from secondary school. I went 3 years of studying everything. IT was 2 of those years. Cooking was 2 of those years. Sex education, I feel like, was 1 of those years, or maybe 2 of those years. And like after that, there was year 10, 11, 12. That 5 years of basically trimming it down. So it was 11 and 12, 10 and 11, year 10 and 11. It was like the basically 3 subjects that you choose: Welsh, English, biology, physics, chemistry, and maths. And I think I feel like there was something else. And I mean, there was sports, but you didn't. That wasn't like a real subject. It's just 'cause they had to do it. And then after that, it was like 3 or 4 subjects that you had to learn. And as for my personality isn't someone who necessarily has natural interest in like everything. Like I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm not particularly interested in, but I would have liked to been pushed in that direction, even if it wasn't useful to me. I feel like it would have been nice just to have that a little bit more than
I've known
I did.
about it a little bit.
Yeah. Like science, I was shit at science, but I really enjoyed it. And like I felt like as soon as sixth form came around, it was like, okay, now everybody, like there isn't a sense of you go your own pace. Now everybody goes, that everyone has to go. It's almost like doing, I've heard somebody compare sixth form in Britain with doing 3 degrees, the 3 subjects being 3 degrees, because it is very intense. And you're like, okay, shit, like now I can't just have fun enjoying learning. I have to do all these tests, and I've got all this to do. And like I don't know, like definitely it's one of those things that I've kind of been feeling for a long time, but I think when you spoke about it, it kind of put a lot of light, like brought up a lot of things in that I've been thinking to light, if that makes sense, in my head. Because I've always known it's kind of flawed, because as a young age, my mum was a dyslexic teacher, and I'm dyslexic, and I've had so much help with that. I had something like 4...
Yeah, but it's for everyone, not just for...
Yeah, but like a lot of help, like from private tutors, essentially. And like different... just different people. I feel like what the same messages I've had from these private tutors and from my art tutor, who was also dyslexic when I was a bit older, was the message I got was, you're not being told you can go to your full potential. Like, that I've been told that I don't know, like, that there's certain things I just can't do, when in reality that's not the case. You know? And it's quite, I don't know, like, for me it was one of those things that if you compare myself to Irene's girlfriend, but my friend Sally, who's also dyslexic, she's had a completely different side of the coin, where I would say that she's more I feel like my experience has taught me a lot, and then she's gone through more of the traditional school system, and it's kind of interesting to see in daily life, in a way, you know.
Yeah, just to say how much education shapes you.
Yeah, like, you don't really think about it, even socially.
You don't know,
Yeah, you feel like if you've been going through your whole life feeling like, okay, I'm dyslexic, therefore I can't do things, it translates to social
I think in
things
general
as well.
you don't realise when you're growing how much that is gonna influence your whole life.
Yeah.
No matter what your experience about growing, like, just growing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were just talking about that we in a way have had a kind of similar. We've arrived at a similar place now, but we've gone kind of through a similar story where, with friendship and with socialising and stuff, where when I was younger, I was pretty terrified of socialising. Oh yeah, I was talking about how I've kind of never had really that strong of a friendship group, and like even until I was 18, the people that I considered my friends were more just people that they were like situation friends, if that makes sense, rather than people you really share a strong connection with. And from going to foundation, where I actually made a group of friends, and then coming to art school, where I found like my best friends that I feel like not only are my best friends, but people that I can really sort of trust, and I bet like think in the same way. I think I've always felt a little bit like an outcast in my life, because I felt that people haven't thought in the same way, even if people are outcasts themselves. I've always felt like we've never really had that same sort of relationship, or like than I did when I went to uni. And you've had kind of a similar situation. Do you want to explain it? It's similar in a way, but also almost a little bit reverse.
Yeah, no, it's reverse. I feel like this sort of being an outcast but not liking it
Yeah.
was as natural as like being friends with everyone, but somehow I felt I was belonging to more of one flip of the coin, rather than the fact that both of them were part of like just the growing process kind of thing. But yeah,
it's like, it's interesting to think like how you change as a person, as much as your situation around you changes. Obviously you change quite a lot, and like I feel like the last year or so I've been a lot more, I've thought about things more than done things.
Yeah.
In a sense, like I've read a lot more books and stuff, but I don't know. Like
you've done a bit less, like day to day.
Yeah, I've had more time.
Less social time.
Yeah, and more time to sort of reflect, which is nice.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm just decided I'm gonna decorate that arch. You know the arch.
Yeah.
Oh, in my room. So it's gonna look like It's one of the
I mean, you can't really see that on the recording, but
yeah, but I'm just gonna put like lots of things coming down with it.
oh, that's cool. Yeah, aesthetic.
So it looks
I want
like
to put. Excuse me. I want to put that. I've done a painting recently, and I want to put it up in the corridor.
Oh yeah.
Be quite nice.
I
'Cause I
think
feel like
corridor-
paintings. I look at paintings a bit like because I've got a degree in painting. Like, sounds weird. Because I never do paintings. My whole degree of like in my art degree, even though it was fine art in brackets painting, I just didn't do it. I think part of it was because everybody around me did it, and it just, even though their artwork was amazing, it just felt so like it was in its place. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like artwork should try and break out of the place, and that might sound a bit
No, I see what you mean, because sometimes the thing is like every time I paint or I draw, it's always really quickly. I can't go back to it.
Yeah.
Like I can't go back to it and improve it. You know, if it's an image,
Yeah.
because I'm like that artwork was part of that time.
Yeah.
Now I feel something else, so I'm gonna draw something else rather than which is also why it's difficult to you know, to me to balance, because of course if I make a set, I'm just gonna work on it for like a week.
Yeah.
Or if, but
and you don't
it's
always
also-
see
but
while
you know-
you're working on something big, you don't always see the end. You can't always envision the end product when
Yeah.
when it's a small drawing or painting. You kind of, it's more natural. It just comes to you. Yeah, it's like
I should probably do more big paintings to understand that freedom.
yeah, I really like the freedom of painting. However, I don't know. Like, I definitely have this weird relationship with it where I don't know. Like, I do find it a little bit. The paintings that I do often like don't have that much meaning to it, as much as my drawing and as much as my photography and like even things like this of talking. I feel like I could do it a lot, but it just doesn't feel. Just feels more like a technique in a way. Maybe not a technique. More like. I explain it as listening to music, and then writing music and creating music is all the artwork I do, whereas painting is more listening to the music. Yeah.
This is such a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, and like it's lovely. Like, I love doing it, but it doesn't have as much. I feel like I'm not contributing that much when I do it.
Yeah,
And it's interesting because my paintings are more, in a sense, more successful. I've sold way more paintings than I have of my sculptures. So in a sense, they are. I could.
They speak somehow more to the people.
Yeah, they possibly do, or it is, yeah, more to the people than I think it does to me. Because especially like with the ones that I've been doing recently of the quarries in North Wales, when I see that painting, I'm like, that's really nice. But when I see a photograph of that area, which is my like soul, my place where I feel like my soul resides, it's Llanberis. If you know that place, it's a lovely place. I've been going there all my life, like through all the hard times, all the lonely times, all the great times. Pretty much, like, it's my one sole place that I kind of feel like is part of me more than anywhere else. For some, I don't really know why, but I just do. And like, I want to make artwork on that place, like an actual piece of that I call artwork. But when people look at that, I feel like people see something of me in it, which is great. But I don't consciously do it, so I guess that's why that's like not as obvious to me, and why I'm not, I guess, as passionate. I'm still passionate about it. I love painting.
I think painting works really well when you use it to document your life in a way. So you have like a
Yeah.
record of all the part of you that you don't know about.
Yeah, and I think also, yeah,
But
I
then,
definitely think
to me,
it's
it's
true.
when it's quick, you know?
Yeah,
Because if it takes too long, then you're speaking about, I don't know, I think so much gets lost in just trying to make one image look better.
yeah, and like it's
either
so
you
true.
do a lot of small ones and then you have your main project, you know?
Yeah, that's what I see about photography. Even more so, probably photography and film even more so than I do painting. But that is because through probably my most where I feel most successful from second year to now in my artwork, that's the primary materials I've been using, if that makes sense. And I definitely feel like part of the reason I'm not as connected might be because I haven't really painted that much during my degree, and I don't know, like, it's kind of interesting in a way when you think about it, because the reason I haven't painted is because I've been in London, and to be honest, the landscape in London doesn't inspire me in the same way. It inspires me in a different way, and I almost say in like a dystopian way, almost like a negative way, but it still inspires me to keep creating work. But like when I look at the Welsh quarries and the mountains and my grandmother I've been living around these landscapes all my life, that feels more like the type of painting that that I think I could connect with if I painted the London landscape. I feel like it wouldn't be genuine. And I almost feel like if I did analog photography or Super 8 film in North Wales, in some places in North Wales, I feel like it wouldn't have the same effect.
Yeah, the media is not. Yeah, it's the way you sort of express it.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about because, like, for me, my artwork drastically changed when I moved to London. It became a lot darker, a lot, I guess, more eerie, more sort of clandestine, if that makes sense. And like now looking back at the artwork I was doing in foundation, it was very, very bright and very it reflects a lot of that time, I guess, where I was a bit clueless of the world and quite, I guess I was less of a realist. I was more of an optimist, and now I'm more of a realist.
It's interesting.
How do you express yourself, or what's your best way of expressing yourself?
I don't know.
Music?
And I think that's, yeah. But weirdly, it's the one that it becomes more difficult for me now.
Yeah.
In fact, I need to unblock this thing because
Yeah.
it's weird because I feel being the drummer, you feel you're not expressing yourself.
Really?
It feels weird, but somehow I mistakenly
Because
linked these
to
two
me,
things.
drums are the one thing that's like creates tension. Do you know what I mean? Like guitar. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I
it
know.
creates tension and it creates.
I always never felt like that. I felt I was useless.
Oh,
Which is
stupid. Yeah.
Which is stupid because if I fucked up, you know, everyone would fuck up.
Yeah. But it's. Yeah.
Which is a similar. Now that I think about it, like a drummer in a band is much like the designer in a company. Okay, we're not the director, but if you fuck up, if your work looks shit, everyone's work will look shit.
True.
And like if a drummer doesn't play properly or like goes out of time, you know, but it's never like the vocalist, you know, is not the one that. I feel they're very similar positions.
That's true.
I love how we are just biting into a chocolate salami.
Yeah. I'm a massive chocoholic. Yes. Most people in my life know. And we're eating.
You know, like this thing normally is sold in Italy, like in slices, in like.
We're just biting.
You're just like-
animals. Oh, God.
It's good though.
Yeah, definitely.
I must say that my ability of like putting coconut on it is so improved.
Yeah. So good. One good thing about Irene, the only good thing about Irene, I'm joking. No, one good thing about living with Irene is she's an amazing cook. She just knows everything. Like today, I was like, it's almost like you were a cookbook, and I was like,
Yeah.
do I put this in? Do I put this in? How do I chop this? And it's almost like you weren't even thinking about it. You were just saying, and I was like, okay, and just putting them in. And it was really nice.
I did feel like a cookbook.
It's really nice though, to be fair.
I was a bit like, I'm sure you can put the salt in without me
Yeah,
telling
because
you.
I've never really had someone that passionate about food. Because my dad is super, super passionate about food, almost the same as you.
Yeah, I had
And
a great conversation
I'm
with
definitely
that.
not as passionate, but like I am quite passionate about food, and like the people I used to live with. Well, I mean, I still live with Sally, but like Akshi and everyone I used to live with, there was a completely different sort of vibe when it came to food. It was just like, this is what we're going to make, we're just going to experiment, da, 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 da. But you actually like know everything, if that makes sense. You know how tastes go and all these things, and I'm like, how do you know? It's so good. I'm like,
I think I haven't improved. I mean, I think I want to improve because I feel I lost a bit of ability living in Italy.
living in Italy.
No, not living in
yeah.
Italy, and because now there are so many people that experiment, I need to learn more about the new tastes that I introduced in my diet.
That's just Henry, by the way.
Yeah, Henry.
He's very quiet. Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I really want to put a tent there
Where? A tent?
over my bed so you don't see it.
Why? A massive tent?
You know, yeah. So it looks like I have a separate in my room.
Fair enough. Not going to judge. Well, it's been an interesting talk. Let's
Yeah.
do this again.
Therefore.
We've spoken about, what have we spoken about? Education system, what inspires us, or what mediums we use, and how that has changed since moving to London. Friendship groups, and food.
Yeah.
The only important things: education, food, friends, and my brain's not working.
It's fine, you listen to what we spoke about. So.
Yeah. Education, food, friends,
Growing process.
artwork,
And artwork.
and how that's developed. But the main one's food. Let's be real.
No.
So should we stop it? 34 minutes is pretty good. Any other thing you want to talk about?
At the 35 minutes.
35 minutes, to be fair, isn't that long. Genuinely, that's not that long.
No, because I mean, how long have we talked together in the last?
Yeah, we've spoken
2
for
days.
about we've spoken for about 5 hours. Genuinely.
Exactly. So
Even today, we've probably spoken about 5 hours
we
together.
spoke so much. So
We're kind of burnt out, I'm afraid. But next time we will record it. We've basically just been repeating everything we've been talking about, pretty much.
yeah, it's just like we organised.
So it almost feels not genuine
But
because
yesterday we spoke about the things.
yeah, but like this conversation feels weird because we're just basically repeating a lot of stuff.
Oh well.
Oh well, yeah. That's what learning is. Remembering. The joke. What do you think about death?
Let's keep that phone over there.
I think death is evil and nobody should ever die.
No, you wouldn't even fit in the planet.
No, but who would care because nobody would die? We could just float. You just send people to space.
We would just
Well, good.
suffer.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to be hurt if you couldn't die. Fine, in this reality, you can't be hurt either. Nothing can be hurt. Everything's happy. Life is good.
I'm just like looking at my images and loving them.
Yeah. You're swaying a lot as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't you feel part of them?
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah. These are all the
My
different
parents have
types.
a lot of...
These are all the different types of lives we could be living.
It's actually a lot nicer, to be fair, to have them all together than how they were, because these two... There's two up on the wall, because I kind of need to explain because of the video, but there's something weird about just having two on one side.
They were all over, but they fell down. But now I put more up. They used to be.
With proper glue tack as well.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered to go to work tomorrow.
Me neither.
To be fair, it's not going to be a bad day. I get to see actually.
Oh yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow night, won't I?
I'm gonna come back around 1.
Around 1.
Maximum 1.
I'm gonna check what time I finish. Let's see. Or whether I've got work day after tomorrow. Just got the vet tomorrow. Or the day after tomorrow, so I can stay up and wait for you if you want.
Oh yeah.
What time are you setting off? Is it tomorrow?
I'm setting off on Thursday morning at 6:47.
Are you going to do it all night?
I don't know.
We could do it together. Do another podcast. We could genuinely do that if you want, but you don't have
Let's
to.
see how it goes.
You might be super
Because Sally's
tired.
gonna be here, so...
Is she?
Yeah, she's coming back tomorrow.
What time?
3?
3 a.m?
4, no, p.m.
p.m. Oh, cool. So we could be together for a bit then.
Yeah.
That's nice. Could maybe go for another walk.
That would be nice. We could go. Yeah, fuck it, like...
Well, might as well.
Yeah,
Because
might as well.
to be honest, since September, which for me is like September is like January for me, because obviously it's when uni finishes. Like I've genuinely not lived with you longer than I have lived with you, even though we live in the same house. Because in September I was in Cardiff and you've been to Panama for how much was it?
October, and then September you were in Cardiff. October and November I was in Panama. December you were never here.
I was
because you
working every
always
day.
working. Then I came back. You left for
In January.
January. Literally, we never spent more than like 2 weeks together.
Yeah. So fuck it. That's the thing is now though. Things are going to be a little bit more smooth for me anyway.
I mean, this was supposed to be smooth for me. This is a new entry.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine, 2 weeks then.
Yeah.
After that, hopefully Renzo comes.
Yay!
I'm gonna convince him.
Ooh. But yeah.
Also wanted to come with another friend of mine.
Mm.
So I was thought because they're close together.
Yeah.
They could come at the same time maybe. Because my friend has always asked me to come to London and she never managed, but this year is the first year that she could, so...
Oh, that's nice.
So even if it means us 2 people, but fuck it, it's fine for 3-4 days.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they're gonna contribute, like, with food and stuff, so they're not,
Yeah.
they're gonna sort of pay their part. So...
But yeah.
So we can have some nice time, actually.
Yeah. I've enjoyed this podcast. We definitely need to do this again, but have maybe more of a layout or more of a structure to it, and like have things that we haven't actually discussed with each other.
Exactly, because it becomes a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Especially for me, because I found it really difficult to repeat myself.
To repeat yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just get really bored.
True. Good practice.
So, and it's a good practice, but also it's like better if we
have it more organic. Yeah, definitely. I think
you should go to sleep.
We need to talk. Yeah, I should probably go to sleep. Next time we're going to talk about gender, sexuality, monkeys, and Michael Jackson. And the reason why is because a lot of people hate monkeys, a lot of people hate Michael Jackson, a lot of people hate gays, and a lot of people hate women. So,
I mean, today I saw a video, but yeah.
You saw what?
I saw a horrible video about political meeting in
We're going to be talking about politics as well.
Because everyone hates politics.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. That's Sean Webb signing off, and
yeah, really. I don't want to say my real name.
Signing off.
Adios.
Goodbye. Fuck off.
Oh, Sean.
What?
Swearing.
Soz. Okay, bye.